The video of organizational communication channel has listed three approachable and empirical methods to identify organizational culture in each company. Um, Firstly, we can examine and assess how and what culture features blend in and are integrated within an organization through surveys. One of the benefits of this approach is that conducting a survey has been commonly known for its simplicity and responsiveness, and it doesn't require any complex procedures or requirements. Specifically, a person in human resources can document bubble sheets in which present versatile questions so that people from departments can circle their answers. Then a consultant or a person from human resources can gather all the paper to crunch the numbers to calculate a result in an overall picture for the group's morale and satisfaction. Though this approach can be easy to carry out, it solely gives the response at the surface level, and we cannot know the deeper factors that build that morality and satisfaction. Additionally, in case there are some dynamics arising, it would be a hardship to solve them at the root as well as come up with determined decision making to prepare essential and possible resolutions to anticipate other issues caused by interchangeability, misbehaviors, and underlying factor. Following the first method is the analytical descriptive approach, even though it shares some similarities with the first one. It offers a better view of the components contributing to the cultural environment in an organization. Coupling with that, rather than focusing on the whole picture of the culture, this approach breaks the culture down into analytical component parts at their description. For instance, it separates culture into rites, rituals, stories, and other symbolic manifestations of deeper phenomena that collectively imply culture. Although it sounds ideal to follow, this approach may be limited owing to its description-focused patterns, which tends to overlook the deep underlying assumptions, shared values, and cognitive frameworks that actually drive and connect the observable cultural components. Likewise, because this description may be filtered through the whole department and submitted under supervision of the head, the culture may be represented with an accurate results and not translated exactly what behaviors occur. Um, the last approach has been discussed is the ethnographic approach, which is renowned as a traditional approach to study culture. When it comes to this approach, that means the organization is dealing with hidden obstacles referring to culture, so specialists are invited for a consultant and asked for a thorough and comprehensive examination on cultural factors. It is considered that the only weakness of this approach may be time consuming for both analyzing and processing through resources given in the current context to produce the final results. Nevertheless, uh, this can be the most effective among the mentioned approaches. Culture is such a broad concept that navigating it in the short term and having knowledge backed on it requires methods that prioritize depth over speed. Accordingly, the ethnographic approach excels precisely because it's immersive and qualitative, allowing specialists to uncover the unwritten rules and unspoken assumptions that drive organizational behavior. Um, for taking the internship as a registered nurse, I think the second approach would outweigh the remaining. Is not because our working environment doesn't demand a clear and profound understanding of cultural features. In fact, my occupation significantly thrives to figure out what values that our organization embraces and pursues in order to commit a design guidelines and facilitate the recovery processes for the patients. However, our job mostly depends on timing and the intense working conditions during shift to shift tasks and fulfilling our responsibilities. It may not be feasible to conduct long-term ethnographic observation, as well as only defining our working culture based on bubble sheets. The analytical descriptive, on the other hand, allows us to examine visible artifacts such as routines, rituals, communication patterns, and behavioral norms to form a meaningful understanding of the cultural environment. Um, Having a better grasp of the components can allow us to distinguish components that are needed adjustment. For example, we can show empathy towards employees who are concerned about how they can connect with others and assume that they are unable due to differences in regional culture. If we manage to share our understanding and aid them in overcoming such situations, we can help them align with the overall goals of the company and streamline seamless collaboration among employees. In conclusion, organizations can manage their external adaptation and internal integration better while clarifying expected behavior and improving effectiveness by meeting all the company's targeted requirements. Right, and here's the reference. Thank you for listening.